Okay, so here we go. We are on admin portal right now. Okay. So first practically over here in front of you guys. That's all, nothing else. So can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So in this scenario, first of all, if let me note it down some things. So what I have to do. Okay. So first of all, basically that why do we need permission? We have to understand that what is the requirement for the permission, that what is exactly basic requirement. So first of all, we think that whatever, like suppose that we are in organization, okay, and in one organization we are having multiple users or multiple departments. So every department is having something confidential. Like take an example, suppose we are having HR or finance or transport, something like that. So everyone is having some confidential data, confidential details and all on it. So what we have to do, so we have to make sure that everyone is having proper access for their documents and all. Now it depends on them. Like let's take an example, we are having HR department. So in HR department we are having multiple levels over there. Like suppose that first of all we are having executive level, then senior executive, then HR manager, then HR head, like that. So as per if we are sharing any document, then they should have as per their requirement of the permission. Like that head of the manager is saying, hey, I don't want any executive or I don't want any senior executive that want to edit this or want to delete this something. So we will give them some specific permission that they cannot do these things. And only head of the manager will be having all the information, all the access. So that person will having control for all these things. So what happened in this scenario? First of all, we have to make sure that right person is having right content. Like suppose that we are having multiple files, so we have to understand first of all requirement. If we are going to sharing, if we are going to permission level things, we have to first of all know the requirement, what exactly we have to do. Like we are having queue, number of the emails, number of the, I mean we can say number of the documents, number of the folders and all like that. We have to make sure that what sort of folder we need to give access to that person. Most of the time actually there's a hierarchy. That hierarchy is based on, first of all it goes to site collection, then later on site collection goes to either we can say subsite, then it goes to any list or library, then it goes to any item, then later on it goes to any column. Okay, so this is actually hierarchy works. Mostly SharePoint permission work on this hierarchy. So first of all it came to site collection, then it goes to sites, then it goes to subsites, then list, library, or then items, then columns. Actually this is a traditional way, it is coming from starting, and we most of the time this is actually a base concept of SharePoint permissions. So in this scenario, like take an example, like we are having multiple sites, like as A, B, or C. We are having these sites, and now here we are having A1, like here we are having A2, B1, B2. These we are having subsites. Now here we are having list document library, like we can say L1, L2, and L3. Okay, and we are having item 1, item 2, item 3, and we are having some such column. So in this scenario, like what we want as per our requirement, a basic requirement is that we are having one user, and one user is requirement is that that person should have access for all sites. Okay, I mean all sites, then all subsites, all access we want. What we want, we just want this item access. After that I don't want I2 and I1. So in this scenario what we will do, I mean we want ABC, we want A1, A2, B1, B2 and all, we want everything. and later on I don't want I1, I2 and all these things. So in this situation, we have to think that what is our requirement exactly. We will give all entire permission to these users. These are, these hierarchy, this hierarchy, we will come to this hierarchy later on. But whenever we will come to this hierarchy, whenever we will come to this item things, we have to think twice that what is exact requirement over here right now. Our requirement is that we need to provide access only for I3, not for I2 and I1. So in that place, what we will do, we just go to that permission inheritance option and we just disable that. I just want to show you this quick demo here, quick demonstration. Okay, so here we go. Let's take an example. We are having this as a team site. Later on, I will tell you what is the team site, what is the communication site, and all these things as well. So let's take an example like here. Okay, fine. Like suppose that this is, what is this? This is entire site. Okay. So this is a treasure. The treasure is the site. Then here, if we click on documents, so this is our document library. Okay. This is our document library. We can say that. Now under document library, we are having such items. We can have multiple items. So like we are having such requirements that a user want to access only this test. I don't want to access this whatever document is a PDF file is here. I don't want this thing have to access for that person. So in this situation, what we have to do first of all in the scenario, we have to, first of all, it depends that how you want to give access. If you want to give him access of entire this page and you don't want to show this, you just want to show this, then what we have to do, we have to give permission first of all in site level, then we have to go permission in documents level, then we have to go to in the items level, and we will stop the permission over here. We will give the permission for only this one. And one more thing, if you want to provide permission only for this document, what you want, you just want that there is a link, like suppose take an example that this is a link and this is a link like this. What you want in the scenario, you just want to open only this document. So it will be open like this. So it will open only test folder. That's all, nothing else. Because actually right now I have opened in the same page. That's why it is opening proper way. Now what we have to do in the scenario, okay, so here we go. Now we are going to add a person here. So first of all, I just want to tell you here that this is our site. This we call team site. So team site is basically is a Office 365 group site. Actually, what happened earlier, traditionally way, there were two type of sites were there. There was only and only team site. There was nothing like that. But what happened later on, there were some user requirements that I want some modern customization. I want additional features, and such requirements is there. So in that scenario, what we have to do, we have to think that what next we can do on the scenario. So now what happened with Office 365 groups, team site is associated with Office 365 group. So whenever we are creating any sort of team site, that will be creating automatic group, and that is integrated with your teams, that is integrated with the Exchange, that is integrated with everything. So like here we go, like suppose we are here in SharePoint and we are creating a site. Okay, so there are two ways of sites in front of you guys. One is a team site, another is a communication site. So most of the time this is a very, we can say a confusion state, that we cannot identify what is exactly communication site, what is the team site in the most of the scenario, and we don't exactly think that what we have to do next. So in the basic thing is that I would like to tell you there is a very basic and simple difference on this, that team site is more with the user interaction, user collaboration, and in communication side, is this just for communication purpose? Here will be less number of writer or less number of poster who is posting and more number of readers. We can say it is like a newspaper. We can say like that. Communication site is like a newspaper, and team site is like a collaboration. I mean, everyone can contribute over here. Everyone can put their data and remove the data or view the data and all these things. But here in this situation in communication side, what happened? There are some specific departments who are authorized to put their data. So let's take an example. In our organization, mostly we are having HR department. Okay, and HR department wants to apply a policy or something changes want to show or publish in our entire organization. So that in that scenario, we will use this communication site. What the HR will do, any update will be in office, that HR will just show here that this is coming update, this is the next update, this is the next month update, and there will be numerous number of readers will be there in the scenario in the communication site. So it is like that. It is just, I mean, we can say news feed. So here you can get the simple sites, and anyone can just come here, anyone can read the post. That's all, nothing else. That's not a two-way communication, we can say. But if you talk about the team site, we can say, I mean, it is just visible by this name. It's a team, right? So it is contributing all the team members in one place. So we can manage our task, we can share our documents, we can communicate with each other, we can create a group for email purpose, we can use planner, we can use Yammer. There's lots of integrated applications are available with the scenario with the team site. So this is a major difference between team site and communication site. Now I just want to show you an example that this is a team site, this is our communication site. Okay, this is our communication site. So we can see this, that this is just a predefined template. Predefined customization is available on the scenario. In communication site, we can add a number of web parts here as per our requirement. We can add we can make changes on this particular theme or template. So there is nothing more, that is just a template. We can select and we can create a new post, we can add a post, and that's all. So you can say it is we can just to read the post and to see the event and to add some documents, that's all. So it is just a communication site, nothing else we have to do. It is very basic option in share. If you want to do, you can just click on share tab and you can assign anyone, any member over here. It depends that any member you can assign, and you can just go there and you can choose the permission, that what sort of permission you want to give. These are some predefined groups: site owner, site members, site visitor. These we can say like these are SharePoint groups. So these are defined, like if person is having site owner, that means that person is having full control. If it is a site member, then that person is having edit option, edit permissions. And if it is a site visitor, that means that person can only view the site and not more changes can do. So it depends on our requirement at what sort of changes we have to do, and we can do so far. So this is our communication site, looks like that. It is just a basic template. We can make it more like attractive by adding more if it is for HR department, we can put here HR, we can add some HR related photos and all these things, and we can add some more policies, we can create posts and all. That's all. This is our communication site basically. Now in the scenario, if we'll talk about the what is the team site. So team site is in front of us. This is our team site. So team site is a public group or private group. It could be as per our requirement. In a team site, what you can do, you can create a number of subsites you can create. You can do conversation because it is integrated with Teams application as well. It will also create some mail related groups. So if you want to send any email, so you will just put that email address of the Teams, and anyone can see that that email will be scattered everywhere. So these are the members. Members are added over here right now. So it depends that how many people you want to add. It's our choice. So whosoever will be member for this, that person will be having access of this team site as well, but that person will having access for other applications also, like as the Teams applications, like as Exchange, Outlook, and all in the scenario. So what we have to do in the scenario, how we have to deal it. If you want, let's take an example. You don't want to share any other application. You just want to share only this particular site. So it depends that what we have to do now. You can just go here. You can just see that what exactly you want to share. So you can just go to advanced permission settings option, and you can go here, and this is only SharePoint permission. So in this situation, if you are adding any person here, that person will be having access only for this team site, not for other applications like as a Teams or email or whatever. So here I just want to show you some these options, that what exactly is saying it. First of all, I would like to tell you that these are 3 groups. These are predefined groups right now here in front of you. One is the edit, full control, and read. So these 3 groups are defined group. It depends on you. Whenever like you are having 10 members, you are having 30 members, and you want 10 members, you want edit permission. We can say 5 members, you want owner, and the rest of 15 members, you want a visitor. So it depends on you. What you will do, you will just go to that members permission and you just edit option. So you can just add multiple person here. If you are having 25 or 30 users, you can add, you can put their name, and you can just go here and show options. So they will get an email invitation, and you can click on share tab. That's all you have to do. So this is a way you can just provide the basic, this is, we can say the normal permissions. But sometimes, however, this is actually what happened. This is right now, this is not inherit. So if you talk about the inheritance, what is inheritance actually? Inheritance is nothing. Inheritance is just is a chain. Like if we are talking about the hierarchy, like as a site level, document library, then file, then column. So if a person is having access of one particular site, then that person will having access automatically. That automatic access will be there for a particular document, for a particular document library, for column, for everything. So at that time, what I want to break the inheritance. I don't want that chain, because what happens sometimes, I do have some personal detail. So what I will do, I will stop the inheritance. Actually, inheritance option is not available here, but I will show it to you. Inheritance, how does it work? Because I have to create a new team site for that actually. So just wait for a while and let me create a new team site for that. So we can start work on this scenario. Okay. So here we go. Create a site. Okay. We are creating a new team site, like as a demo one. Any name you can type, and we can just click on next, English language, that's all. And we are clicking on finish tab after that. Actually, I'm the only one user here right now, and I'm only the admin. So I will be only one of the member for the site. Site is creating right now. Okay. So now we are going to, we can say, site permissions. Okay. So you can see that what we did, we just created a demo one right now here. Now, if we will talk about this demo one, we can see the same thing. Just wait. So we are going to admin center location, and we just want to see the behavior of this Office 365 group. Here we go, groups, active groups. That has not been updated yet here. It will take some time for updation. Then later on, you will see that group here as well, that Office 365 group here as well. And that will be synced here, the same group. So demo one is here in front of you guys. And now here we are going to site permissions. Site permissions is here. Then we go to advanced site permissions option. Okay, now in this scenario, actually, we are not getting that option here right now. I have to check it out. I have to remove the permission levels and I have to disable everything and I have to start over. Then I will get, I think. Actually, there is an option. There should be an option with the permission inheritance. It would be whenever you are having proper hierarchy, like as a proper document library and all everything. On that scenario, you mostly have that thing. So, but however, let me see that for you. Okay, site settings, where is it? Library settings. Permission for this document library. Okay, you can see guys that this is a stop inheriting option. Okay, so if I will stop, like suppose that I have added one member here in demo one, like if I am adding a person here, I'm adding a new user here. Okay, I'm adding myself or I'm adding a external person. I don't think so that I have enabled external sharing for this. Okay, I have enabled already. So what I'm going to do, I'm just inviting a person, inviting that external person here. So I clicked on share tab. That's all. So now what will happen? What I did, I just went to location of document library permissions and I added that person. But if I added that person here in this particular group, that person will having access everywhere. I mean, inside as well, in a document library, everywhere will be having access in the scenario. So what we have to do, if you want to stop this, we have to click on stop inheritance in the scenario on the same page. Then we will go to that same place and then we will remove that user from here like this. Like we are removing that user from here, okay? And now we will go to the same place again. And now we will give the permission as per our requirement. We don't want this information, okay? We don't want to give this permission. I want to give some unique permission that person, that external person can add something but cannot delete anything, right? So in that scenario, what I want, I just want to just add a person, but I don't want to delete the permission, or I can give as per our requirements. So we will go to the grant permission. We will select that particular user from here. Like this is a particular user. We are going to select right now here. We click on show options and we are choosing permission as per our choice. Design is over here. Design is just for, we can say, actually this is some levels. These are some basic levels of permissions. One is a full control, design, edit, contribute, and read. Read is just to view the document. Contribute to add something to update, but it is less than edit and more than read. Means you can update anything, you can do whatever you want, but you cannot edit that particular thing. That is for contribute here. Edit is just, I mean, you can edit that particular document. Design is just for some more customization and kind of the web part customization or some look and feel changes and all like that. Full control is for everything, whatever you want as per our requirement. I mean, you can assign the permission to anyone, you can do everything. So this is the full control. So let's take an example. I just want to give a design permission for this user. And I clicked on share tab. So what will happen in the scenario? You can see that right now, this is another person that is having design permission. We are not edit, full control, or read. So it depends on us that what sort of permission we want to give. So we will break the inheritance and we will go to grant and we will give the permission for that particular folder or for that particular document or library or site. So this is actually our SharePoint permissions, some things. And one more thing, that if you want to check the permission, that what sort of permissions are there, you can type the username here and you will get, click on check now. And if you click on check now, you will get the detail that you can see that given directly, design permission we have provided and given directly. That's the permission we have provided to this user, right? And you can see that what is exactly mean of that, add and customize pages. So we can just add a web part, we can customize the website, and we can use the Microsoft SharePoint Foundation, or we can use Microsoft SharePoint Designer or anything. It depends on us. So this is actually a site permission. Now, I just want to tell you about the SharePoint permission levels. So what exactly SharePoint permission levels are? Because there are different levels of permissions. So here we go.
Hey, Akshay.
Yes.
It seems like Microsoft is letting somebody have like full access to a site without paying for it. I just can't get that through my thick skull. It just seems like it's, I don't know, like a free all-you-can-eat buffet. Are there any limitations to that? Can I put an external person at the tippy top of a site and that person has full reins, full access to the entire site?
Okay, so what exactly you want? You want to share your site with external person, right?
The entire site. Yeah, the entire site.
Entire site.
So they'll have access to the libraries, the lists,
Okay.
Announcements, everything under that site. Is that possible? It seems too good to be true for a somebody, a non-paying customer, to have access to it.
Yes, you can do so. But let me tell you one thing. Like, suppose that I'm an Office 365 admin, okay, and you are my external user, and you want what I want that you should have access for my site. So what I will do, I will give you access of the site, particular site, one site. So that's simple, that we can do that. That's not an issue. I will enable the external sharing and I will assign the permission for that particular site. And whatever you have, like suppose take an example, we are having this demo, okay? So in this demo, if I'm adding you, this is a site, this is our team site. If I'm adding you here, then you will be member for this. Then you will have access for this particular site, documents, or whatever subsite I will create later on, that will also be there, visible for you.
But what stops me from dropping in a Trojan or a worm or something like that? Or an executable?
Sorry, you want to stop? Sorry?
No, what I said is what stops me from dropping in a malware, Trojan, or worm?
Like, he's concerned about the external person dropping in like a virus.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So let me tell you one thing here. For that scenario, if we're talking about the virus and all, that would not be possible. Actually, if you will go to here, I mean, Office 365 security and compliance, we are having attack simulator. We are having lots of things we do have. I just want to show you that as well. No issues. Here we go. We already having everything built on this. You cannot even put any virus. That is no way that you can upload here. There's no way for that, because we do have attack simulator. We are having lots of, I mean, right now this is a latest and updated sort of things we do have.
Okay, so if you're giving me access to the site to upload stuff, again, what stops it from happening? I mean, I'm looking at the site right now, and if you give me permission, you're giving me permission to the site. Why can't I download something to it? Just say it's
Randy, there's endpoint security built into 365 as well as data loss prevention, DLP.
Exactly, DLP is there. Yes, DLP is there, attack simulator is there, and there are three more. With attack simulator, there are three more available. Because actually I'm not able to find out that option right now. So that
policies would have the data loss prevention, I think.
Data loss policy, DLP is just policy to lose, I mean, data and all like that. It is for that policy. DLP is something different. If you're talking about any virus and all these things, that is something totally different. That is that attack simulator is available from Microsoft. So you cannot, I mean, put even I mean, SharePoint is just a basic thing. Okay, if I talk about this, just think about any email. If someone is sending any if suppose that I am sending an email to you with the virus, that is more critical thing, right? More criticality is over there. But that email cannot be delivered to you, because the thing is that that is already enabled some securities from Microsoft. There are some ATP is enabled, like EOP is enabled. So there are some basic, all the TLS 1.2 and 1.1, all the securities are already enabled for such viruses and all that thing. So virus is not in dictionary of Office 365. I've never ever heard about the virus in Office 365.
Yeah, Randy, if you try to upload, so essentially, if you try to upload a Word document, Randy, the server will scan your file that you upload. Yep.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
first of all, it is scanned. Then otherwise you cannot upload that.
So Akshay, are you saying? So I'm just curious. What are some limitations with putting external users? Are you saying that an external user should be treated the same as an internal tenant user? So you're essentially saying I could put an internet front facing. I could develop a Facebook on 365 and make it externally front facing.
Okay. The thing is that actually what happened. External person can access only whatever you want to show him. That's all he can access. He cannot access each and every topics, each and every features and all like that. But there are two things. One is a guest user, another is external user. Okay, so there is a quite difference between what is a guest user, what is external user. External user is totally external. That is apart from your organization. Guest user is a kind of one of the external user to whom you are inviting to your organization. That is guest user in the scenario. So if we are talking about guest user, that will be work as your internal user. That will be work as your internal user. That person will be having email and login, everything will be having that guest user. So guest user can work as your internal user, will be having all the things, but that person will not be member of your organization. Because that person will be invited person. But external user is just for that particular limit. If you want to invite any external person for this thing, so that person will be available only for that, nothing apart from that. So it is like that. I mean, if you're talking about Office 365 group, if you're talking about Teams, if you're talking about email, guest user can work most of the scenario, but external user cannot work in most of the scenario. External user cannot have access of your Teams channel and all everything. External user can just chat, can communicate, that's all. External user cannot chat after meeting. Actually, I think there was a question, right? There was a question in Meetup event. I have seen that question by someone that if we are setting up a meeting, after ending of the meeting, can my tenants member or a guest user can communicate each other or not, right? That. So in that scenario, what happened? If that person is a guest user, then that means guest user is a person who can access your entire teams, right? So that person can access your chat history. That person can access your user directory. So that person can communicate to anyone. Doesn't matter whether meeting ended or not ended. It's like that. So that person can talk to anyone because that's a guest person. But in place of guest person, if there is an external person, then external person cannot communicate after meeting ended. So external person is a limitation that whatever you want to share, only that thing that person can see, nothing else. Apart from that, nothing else can see. So this is actually external person.
That makes sense. Thanks.
Guest user is different, external person is different. So there is a quite difference on both of the scenario. I mean, we can use the guest user in most of the way, in most of the things, most of the tasks, but external user is not like that. External user will not be in your directory. Whenever we are creating a guest user will be in your Azure directory. That entry will be created in your Azure directory. That entry will be created in your Office 365 directory. And then later on, it came to sync it came to Teams and SharePoint and Exchange. But external user is not like that. External user is not creating anywhere. It's not like that. External user is just a person that I'm giving this token, and just get this token and have access, and that's all. After getting that access, that token is not valid for any other thing. That token is valid only for this thing. So it is like that. So this is actually external sharing.
So a guest user is part of your organization. Your company pays for their Office 365 account, but what's an example of a guest user? Let's say I'm in finance. Is a guest user somebody in HR? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's not like that. Like suppose that you are running a company, you are running an organization. Okay. Now in this scenario, what you want to add someone who can actually, let's take an example. You are having Teams. Okay. You are using Teams and you are having some channel on Teams. And what you want to show something to that user, to that guest user, that, hey, I have this portfolio or I have this presentation. I just want to show you. So you can have a look, or you can post on this, or you can comment on this. So what you will do, you will add that member here, and you will just put that email address that will be a guest user. And then that guest user will be having access for your entire page. And that guest user will having access for everything, whatever you just want to show him. And that guest user will be available till the time you are not deleting that user from your directory, from your Office 365 directory.
Okay.
Guest user is a, we can say, replica of your internal user, but that will not be member of your organization. It is just like that. I mean, we can say visitor, right? We can, like, suppose, take an example. We are inviting someone in our office, and we are saying that, okay, you can come to my cabin. That's not an issue. You can come, you can ask to me, you can ask my name, and you can come to my cabin. So what that person will do, that person will go to security guard. That person will ask you, hi, I just want to meet this person. I want to meet this person. You will call to security guard. You will say, yeah, please send him, let him go, let him in. So what that person will do, that person will enter everywhere in each and every premise, so in office premise, right? He can go to this room, that room, pantry, cafeteria, everywhere, because that is a guest person. You have invited that person, and that person will having access till the time you are not asking him to go, till the time that person is available. So that is guest user. External user is someone that person is out of your organization, that person is out of your office, and you have this packet, you just have some data, you just have some like as a gift or something. You just want to show that, you just want to tell him. So you are not inviting that person to your organization. What you are doing, you are just taking that gift, you are just bringing that gift, and you are going to out of our organization, and you are showing them, just, hey, please have a look, this is the item I just want to show you. And now you are coming back to your office. So that is external person. It is like that.
Thank you.
So I do believe that external and guest user concept might be clear.
Yeah, it is. It sounds like a guest user will remain in your directory until you take that person out. An external user, you're essentially just possibly emailing them a link to a document or an attachment to a document. If I give somebody access to a site, let's say I put it at the site level, do I give that person guest user? Is that person a guest, or is that person an external? Sounds like a guest.
External. First of all, you have to add that guest user in your organization. First of all, you have to add the user as a guest user in your organization. You have to register. Like suppose, take an example. You are a person. You are anonymous. I don't know you. Okay, and this is my organization. So I am having that CL fan, that I am having this guy, and this person is having an email address, clfan@abc.com. So that right now, this email address is external email address for me. Until unless I'm not adding this email address in my organization as a guest user. So first of all, what I will do, I will give you a pass. I will add you as guest user in my organization. Once I will add you as a guest user in my organization, then you will be my guest user of my organization. Then if I'm adding you, at that time you will be working as a guest user. But if I'm directly adding your email on whatever I just want to share and all that's all, so that will be external user. So I just want to show you, have a look here. Okay, go to admin center and users, guest users. Okay, so like take an example. You can see here that what happened. Actually, what I did, guest user is directly syncing that teams. So what I did, if you remember, I have added this person, I have provided this person permission here in Office 365 in SharePoint. So that person has been added in my Active Directory, in my Office 365 directory. And right now I have only this person as a guest person. So if I am adding anyone to any my group, to any my Office 365 group, like as a Teams group, SharePoint group, or Exchange group, that person will be as a guest user. So here that person is added as a guest user. Now if I will go here, if I will come, okay, where is it? Teams, okay. Now if I am going to Home tab, now if I am in this place and I am clicking on this okay, settings, where is it? Okay, 2 members, here we go. So if I'm adding any person here, that person will be as my guest person. That person will be my guest user. So look here, this is because this is connected to group. Now, if I will talk about this permission, I will go to here and I will go to site permission. I will go to advanced site permission. If I'm adding any email address here, that person not be guest user, that person will be external person, because here I am adding that person in SharePoint particular site. But here, if I'm talk about that group is totally different, right? So that is something totally different. So that is actually guest user and that is the external user over here.
That makes sense. Sounds like the external, you're almost hard coding it, whereas the
Exactly.
guest, you're kind of formally, registering them at the front desk.
Yes, right. Because you know what happened, Office 365 group, if you're talking about it, if you're talking about the team site, whenever we are creating any team site, or whenever we are creating any Teams channel, whenever we are creating any Office 365 group, these things are synced with each other. Like as a planner, like as a Yammer, all are connected to each other. So if you are creating any sort of group here, if you are creating any team site here, that will create a group in Office 365, that will automatically create a team site, and that will automatically create Exchange group as well. So if I just want to show you, like take an example, here we go, Teams. Okay, so we are just going to Teams because that is quite integrated with SharePoint. That's why we have to go to Teams. So here we go, Teams, and like what we have to do, okay, so like what we are trying to do, like suppose that this is our treasurer, there's the same group is here, right? So if we are going to the same group, we are adding the member here, like we are adding anyone, any email address we can add, like we are adding this email address here. So this person will be, if I'm adding this person, that person will be added to my organization as a guest person, and that person will be guest user and will having access for my SharePoint, will having access for everything. So this is also the another way that we can do it, or we can just go for one more way. I just want to show you. Okay, this is Outlook web application OVA. So if you are going here, Okay, so you can see guys that right now that the whatever team site I have created there, that is publishing now here in Outlook web application. What I did, I created this, right? I created this there on that, I mean SharePoint, and that group sync here, and that has been created here like this.
Are you sharing still? I don't see your screen anymore.
Okay, what's happened? Yeah, I'm sharing.
Maybe it's on a different monitor.
No, can you see now? Is better?
Yes, I see it now. Thanks.
Okay, so I do believe that you might remember I have created a demo one in SharePoint, right? So whatever demo one I have created in SharePoint, that sync and it is came here. You can see that now it is here, demo one, the same, that same group, Office 365 group is here. Okay, so now here also I can go to the member and I can add that person here. I can add anything here as well. So that person will, if I'm adding that person here, that person will also be a guest person. So there are different ways to add a guest person in your organization. Okay, so this is actually the guest person, how the guest person is work. So this is one is from Teams, another is from Office 365 Admin Center, another you can create from SharePoint, and you can go for Office, you can go for Outlook. There are 4 different ways you can add any guest member in your organization.
Hey Akshay, with with the groups being created, whenever you create a team site, do you have any customers that are kind of concerned about like the proliferation of all these groups and teams and kind of becoming the Wild West? I mean, you got so many, they're not organized, there may be duplication. Do you have any customers that say, hey, Akshay, I want to kind of control this. I'm getting so many groups, so many teams.
So it depends that what exactly you want to do here. Now if it is like that, I just want to tell you a simple thing that what you can do, you can just create subsites. If you don't want these things, I know that it is kind of the messed up things, right? Sometimes people don't understand, oh my God, how many lots of groups are here and all like that. So the simple, a basic thing is that what we have to do, what we will like to recommend you, you have to just create a subsite. If you're creating a subsite, that is nothing, that is just I'm inside that there will be no kind of a group and all like that. You will go to the admin center, and from admin center you can go there and you can create a normal site. I just want to show you that way as well. Actually, those were some shortcuts. Mostly people used to have that, but now here I just want to show you. We will go to SharePoint admin center. Show all. This is SharePoint. So we can see that this is our SharePoint admin center. We have clicked on sites, we clicked on active sites. Here we will get more information. So if you like take an example, you don't want to any group or something like that, you don't want these things. And also what you will do, you will go to your main site, you will go to your and you can go to your main site. Main site is your this site. This is the main site. Okay, this will be your main site. No, wait, Akshay Awasthi.sharepoint.com. This will be here. This is a main site. You can go to site content. If you don't want any group and all, on that scenario, I just want to tell you, you can go to site content, you can go to subsite, and you can simply just go there and you can create a subsite there. So that is another thing. So you can just go here, you can create a new subsite like this, and you will just put your details here like this, and simply you will be creating a subsite. So that will be with the proper URL, like as a test, like somewhere you are putting any test like this, and you are putting test. So that URL will be akshayawasthi.sharepoint.com/test, and nothing you have to manage. Thus you have to manage only one site. That will be only one site like this, and that's all, nothing else. So this will be your subsite. You can use the subsite with the normal way. Now you don't. Now you're not going to mess up with other things.
Got it. Thank
So
you.
this is another way that you can do that.
Actually, question: can you make a site that already exists into a subsite or something else? Which kind of goes back to the question that was asked previously. If you have multiple sites and you're trying to organize them into something well structured, so can you make a site that's already a site into a subsite of another main site?
Sorry, actually, there was a quite disturbance. No, that's why I was not able to hear properly. So what exactly you want? You want to convert any existing site to a subsite,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, the thing is that here, it totally depends on a URL, that what is the URL exactly happening. Subsite is like, suppose take an example. You have created, you are having an organization. I just want to show you here, like, okay, let's take an example. This is an organization ABC. Okay, this is our organization ABC right now here, and after this organization, we are having multiple departments. We are having multiple branches. Like one is we are having US, another we are having in UK, another we are having in New Zealand, anywhere. Now, after that, one more hierarchy, that in these offices, we are having different departments. Like we are having HR, we are having finance, we are having transport. Okay. Now what we want, we are having what you want. So there is a one site. We are having a one site with the name of us.sharepoint.com. Okay, this is our site we do have right now. We are having like uk.sharepoint.com. So like same, we are having other site like New Zealand and all. So we are having 3 sites. These are our main. This we can say as our main site collection. Like we can say at a root site. Root site is ABC. Okay. And now this is our, as per being hierarchy, this is our normal site. This is our site, existing site. Now after that, there are some quite departments. Okay, this one is also having HR, finance, and transport, and this one is also having HR, finance, and department. Right. So what happened in the scenario? We have to identify how we will identify. Like suppose you are saying you are having this site, you are having this office, and you want to convert in a sub office. So that would not be possible because these are sub departments of this site. So this is the main site, and this sub site, this site is, these are subsites. So right now we can see this site as a subsite for this site. We can say this one is site and this is subsite for this, or we can say site for this. These are subsites. So that would not be possible. It is like same, a father cannot, a father at the same time cannot convert to a son, right? Because son is already someone else. So that is same like that. So it is hierarchy based structure. So that there is no possibility that you can change any site to, you cannot change any site to subsite, because that is just a hierarchy based system. So there is no way for that.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, welcome.
Hey, Akshay, I don't mean to hijack your presentation, but I'll just ask you a quick question. Can you tell me I come from more of the on-prem world. However, I've had my 365 account for about 10 years now, since the days when I was publicly front-facing. But still, I still have too much to learn about 365. But one thing that I want to get more clarity on is, I understand the heck out of SharePoint groups. I know how they're used. I know how they're, how Active Directory groups kind of play with, SharePoint groups. Can you give me a compare and contrast of these new Office 365 groups as compared to SharePoint groups?
Yeah, definitely. I'll let you know about it. That what happened, we can say, are you talking about SharePoint groups for permission levels?
Exactly. SharePoint group for permission levels. We use them for permissions, and then sometimes we will use Active Directory groups for permissions as well. But now we've got this concept of 365 groups. Wanted to find out the differences between the two worlds.
Actually, yeah, definitely. I would like to tell you about it. What happened earlier, I mean, and traditionally we can say there were two type of groups. These are majorly used groups. One is a security group was there. Another was, we can say, email groups was there. Okay. So what happens? Security group, we use security group. We have to add members to whom you want to share applications or our content. Okay. So if you want to share any of our application or any content or any of our data, on that scenario, we were using that security group. So that is for security group. And email is for receiving and sending email. Is just for, I mean, it is, we can say, like as a distribution list, we are creating a group like as a HR, and we are adding 10 members in HR. So if you are sending any email to HR only, that will be scattered entire HR department. So it is like that. So it was there. So only these two groups were there earlier. But what happened later on, as per user's requirement, because user was thinking that, oh God, it will be really lots of things we have to do. We have to add member in email group. We had to add member in security group and all that, these things, because Office 365 is a bundle of technologies. So what we decided, we have decided to merge both groups. One is security and one is email group, right? So we merged both groups, and then it came to picture that is mail enabled security group. So that is mail enabled security group. We can say SharePoint group. So that came to picture, and that name converted to SharePoint group. But later on, what happened? Later on, more requirement, more things generated. What they want to sync Teams, they want to sync Outlook, they want to sync Planner, they want to sync OneNote, and lots of things they want to sync, or SharePoint. So in this scenario, they have launched Office 365 group. So that's how Office 365 group came in a picture. So this is actually group hierarchy. This is a working process, working thought for groups, that how it started from security group, then email, then both merged. They named as a SharePoint group. Then later on, everything has been merged and converted to Office 365 group.
Wow, thank you for that. That was masterful, the way you explained that.
Yeah, so this is actually group. Now I want to tell you one more thing. I want to, because that was mentioned in our agenda, there's a hub site. Hub site is that is also very good and fantastic feature that came to the market with Office 365. And it is basically, it eliminated lots of tasks, lots of workload for our developers, because lots of whoever is implementation, so for architectures level. So in this scenario, what happened, like suppose take an example. I do remember that I have told you recently, if you guys notice that if we are making any permission, so if we have to do it from starting level, right? We have to do it from a starting level, I mean from the level of the topmost, we have to go to the site level, and then we have to make changes, and it is hierarchy based. But what happened, I suppose I have my unique permission set already. I'm having 5,000 users, and I don't want to mess up these things. I'm afraid if I will touch this, oh my God, something wrong will be happen. All will be puzzled, and I will be confused. So in this scenario, what happened, Microsoft Office 365 was thinking for a hub site for each group. Like it is like take an example. We are having multiple groups, multiple sites, like ABC. We are having XYZ, okay, and we are having LMN. We are having some multiple sites. Now these all are connected. Something, this is connected to main site 1, this is also connected to main site 1, this is also connected to main site 1. Now everyone is having, this one is having 10,000 users, okay, this one is having 10,000 users, this one is having 10,000 users. But if you want to make any changes, suppose, what is my requirement, what is your customer requirement is saying, I want to make changes for 20 users here. So now what you have to do, you have to do lots of things here. It is a lots of tasks here, right? So in this scenario, what I did, you don't have to go to again and again that first go to that permission, that thing and all like that. You have to set up a hub site. Hub site will be for particular this. So we are not just touching this. If we are making changes here, that will also hamper this one. That will also hamper LMN. That will hamper XYZ and ABC, everything. So what we are doing to do, we are just trying to achieve this one as a hub site, this one as a hub site, this one as a hub site. So whatever changes we will do here, that will impact only this. That will not impact all other sites. So that's how hub site came in a picture. So we can say that what is exactly hub site? Hub site is simple. That is nothing. I mean, hub site will be a separate site. It is a separate team site, we can say. It will be totally separate site. So like what we have to do first of all for the scenario, if you want to create a hub site, so there's a very basic thing that you have to create first of all a SharePoint team site. Then you have to create a communication site. You can create multiple team sites, okay, because team sites, like take an example, you can say we are having 4 or 5 departments, okay, we are having one branch. We are having one branch in Washington DC. Let's take an example. We are having branch in New York. We are having branch in some other location. So what happened in the scenario, I don't want to mess up all the branches. I just want to choose only one branch and I will make the changes and that's all. So it will not impact any other branch. So what I will do, I will create a communication site and I will create different departments, whatever departments in that particular one branch, like the HR, transport, finance and all like that. So what we will do basically, we will just go ahead and we will, okay. So first of all, what we have to do, we have to go to create a one communication site. We will create bunch of team sites. Then later on, we will convert that communication site as a hub site. Then we will associate those team sites. I mean, we will add those team sites into our hub sites. That's all we have to do and nothing else. And everything will be in our screen. So like, let's take an example. I will create a communication site in front of you here. Okay. So here we are going to create a site. We already created a team site like as a demo 1. Okay, fine. So we are creating a communication site like as a demo 2. For what we want to use as a hub site, right? So we will use as a hub site. We will click on Finish tab. So we have created this communication site right now here. Now what we will do, we will go to our admin center. So this is our admin center. Now we can see demo 2 hub site. I mean, actually this is our communication site we have just created. So we will click on here, we will click on hub and we will associate, we will register as a hub site. It means we are converting a communication site as a hub site. So we are converting it. What we did, we just converted it. Now you can see that we have already created a team site here. So this is our team site. Okay, we click on here in team site. We will associate this team site newly created with hub site. So we have created the hub site right now here. We have converted. We will click on here. We will click on save. Now this communication site will change as a hub site. This communication site will change as a hub site if you will see that. So we will refresh the page. we will come to here, and you can see here, this is now demo 2 hub site. If you are clicking on the scenario in this one, demo 1, and if you're opening this demo 1, you can see on the top, this is our hub site, demo 2 hub site. So we are not going anywhere. We are just going to this hub site only. We will click here and we will make the changes here in this particular hub site, or we can go to, our, we can say like our team site. So both are connected to each other, right? So this is the way we can use our hub site, and we can make the changes in our hub site. Whatever changes we will make in our hub site, that will not impact in our other things, that will not impact in our root site. So this is exactly whole concept about hub site. That's all. So if you have any other concern, you can ask.
Any questions out there for Akshay? Hey, Akshay, can you show us a demo of, adding permissions using groups versus SharePoint groups? The groups that are created when you create a site, those are SharePoint groups, right? The ones that are created by default.
Right.
Would
Right.
we, so let's pull up permissions.
I just want to show you here. We will go to SharePoint. We will go to our one of the, we can say we will go to our one of the site, team site. Okay. So here we go. Let's go for Treasure. Oh, sorry. What's happening here? So this is our site. Okay. We are going to site permission level. So we will click here. We will go to site permissions level. And right now we are advanced site permissions. So these are our groups. These are our SharePoint groups. You can see this.
Yep.
So these are our SharePoint groups right now. If you want, you can create multiple groups. It depends on your choice, how many groups you want to create. You can create multiple groups here. And these will be your SharePoint groups.
So you can add 365 groups in there as well?
No, that is totally different actually. That is a totally different you're talking about. So if you want, if you want to grant permission, okay, if you want to grant permission, yes, you can add that. You can put here a demo, you can put here like as a demo 1, this one. If you remember, I have created demo 1, right? So that demo 1, if I put here, so you can put entire, yes, you can put entire Office 365 group name here, and whosoever will be member of that particular group, that will be added.
Can you go ahead and add that in there?
Yeah, sure. Let's take an example. First of all, it depends. It's my choice where I want to add. If I want to add on these groups, we can do that as well. So suppose I want to give them full control. Okay. So I want to give a full control for that person. So I will click on new. So I will add, I just want to show you here something. Have a look. That add a user to this group. So if I'm adding any user, so it doesn't matter whether we can add a list group as well, Office 365 group as well. So there's a demo 1, there was group. You can see I have added one group will be invited. What is a group? Group is the demo 1, whatever I have created, and I click on share.
Wow, that's a miracle, because you could not nest SharePoint groups within SharePoint groups before. So this is a way to nest
yes.
groups.
Exactly. Yep. That feature came recently there with Office 365.
Can you put a SharePoint group inside of a 365 group? Right.
No. that would not be possible. Actually.
The inverse of that's not possible.
Vice versa is not possible. Yeah.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
In terms of like data loss prevention, forwarding stuff, externally, by accident and policies. That's probably beyond the scope of this presentation, so I don't want to put you on the spot. But can you tell our users kind of big picture what data loss prevention is about, like, you know, copy pasting stuff and forwarding externally and things like that?
Data loss prevention you're talking on means on which behalf you're talking about? Are you talking for SharePoint or are you talking about Office 365 actually?
365. Let's say you try to forward an
I mean,
email.
simple. I just want to tell you in a very layman language that data loss prevention, we can use it for any sort of like as any sort of attack or something like that. We can say that potential, like any kind of a data breach, like any data breach or any hackers or anyone if gonna attack somewhere or any from anywhere our data is gonna steal by someone. So in this scenario we use the data loss prevention. So we are just creating some labels, we are and enabling those labels, and we are providing those, we are assigning some permissions and policies that this is a policy over here that it should be not accessed like that, and what sort of sensitive data we do have, and that's all. So data loss prevention configuration is a backend designed that is not much that as a user can choose. User is having just normal some 4 to 5 options, have to select those options and have to proceed further. That is not a much we can, as being an admin, we cannot do a lot on the data loss prevention tabs or those functionality, because that functionality totally depends on our backend. And whenever if any sort of issue is having related data loss and all something like that, then you have to contact to the our Microsoft backend team. We do have that team, and from backend they push the data, they fetch the data, and all they provide you. So related data, if you're talking about the data loss, if you're talking about any sort of your file or folder or sites, emails, anything you're going to lose or something like that, if you want to gain access back or if you want anything for that, we do have that product support team, we can say, like the product team. So they provide you data from SQL database. They do have a data center in different locations. So from there they can fetch their data and they can provide you in a precise way.
Got it. Thank you. I know that was a little bit out of scope.
So anything else?
CL, was that from experience on data loss there?
Yeah, so that's right. So SharePoint has built-in policies that you could set up. Like, let's say you could set up a policy where if somebody's sending out a piece of text that had XXX hyphen XX hyphen XXXXX, you know, it would automatically recognize that as a social security number, or policies with credit cards, or, you know, any kind of PII information, personal identifiable information.
Exactly, like as a credit card information, like as your birth detail, like as anything, something sensitive. So
Yeah.
for that things.
So you've got that, and you've also got, you know, if you had set, if you shared something with somebody, but you did not want that person to then email it outbound to an external email address, you know, SharePoint's got policies that shuts that down. Or let's say printing, SharePoint's got policies that shut that down as well. And you know, there's default policies that come out of the box, but then you can kind of customize those policies as well. But it's just dizzying in terms of the the options available.
Actually, simply we can say that DLP is depends on condition and actions. If you are putting this condition, then actions should be like this. So it is just totally depends on this. So if you're putting such conditions and you want this action should be published, and that action will be published according to your requirement. That's all.
That's a great way to describe it.
Yeah.
Any other questions out there? Well, I think I think that's it. I think it's a wrap. Akshay, thank you very much. I know it's late over there. I see your time, 23:25 over there. It's almost midnight.
Yeah, exactly. It's 23:25.
This was very enlightening. You're a wonderful speaker, full of energy and engaging, and you've answered all our questions. I hope we have you back in the future. And if I go to New Delhi, I know who to visit.
Yeah,
Thank you.
definitely. Yeah. All of the guys are welcome in New Delhi.
Yeah, and anybody on the call, I am going to put Akshay's, I'm going to email you Akshay's LinkedIn link. Please, put a recommendation for him and sing his praises if you can. Please consider it. And we've got Power Apps and Dynamics coming up next week and next week. So I'm looking forward to kind of getting you, emailing you on Meetup, Meetup messaging you as far as those sessions that are coming up. But really appreciate you guys attending. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks all. Thanks, Il.
Thank you, Akshay. I wish you have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Yep,
Bye.
you too.